This dollhouse beanbag chair, pillow, and hat are all made from a single fuzzy sock. If you can sew a simple stitch, you can make these in no time at all. To make these projects, you will need a fuzzy sock, scissors, needle and thread, and for the beanbag and pillow, some rice or small beans. To make the beanbag chair, cut the toe off the sock about 3.5 to 4 inches in. Double thread a needle with about 24 inches of thread and then tie a knot at the end. Start sewing around your cut edge of the sock. You want to go 1/4 to 1/2 inch down, just making sure you're well below the cut end where it won't fray. So take large stitches, just go in and out all the way around. They don't have to be particularly even, and like I said, they could be large stitches. This is just to be able to gather the whole thing together. Once you've gone all the way around, leave the needle and thread attached. Open up the top and then carefully pour in some rice. Just put in a little bit to start out with, and then sort of shake it down into the bottom and get it settled. And then keep pouring in a little bit more in increments, shaking it down and settling it in as you go. You want to put in enough rice so that it feels full, but that it's just a little bit squishy. Pull the thread tight to close up the hole. Take a stitch to secure everything in place and then tie a knot. Leave the thread and needle attached. Now stuff all of the raw edges down in toward the center. Press the edges together over the raw edges and take a wide stitch across. So you're going to be sewing in a line across the raw edges so that they stay down inside and don't poke out. Again, you don't have to be particularly neat because the fuzzy sock will hide any stitches that you make. Just make sure that you're getting all the raw edges tucked in. When you're finished, make a final stitch and tie off your thread. Trim the thread and turn the sock over and your beanbag is finished. To make the pillow, cut a section of the sock about 2.5 inches wide. Double thread your needle and tie a knot at the end. About 18 inches of thread should be enough. Turn the sock to the wrong side. Hold the edges together and just begin sewing a simple straight stitch all the way along the edge. Make sure that you're far enough in so that those raw edges aren't going to become unraveled. When you get to the end, go back down the other way just so you have a double line of stitching. We don't want the rice to fall out through the stitches. When you get to the end, tie off the thread and trim it. Tie another knot at the end of your thread, and then on the other side you are going to make a long straight stitch just all the way around the edge. So you're going to go in a circle, just making large stitches all the way around. When you get back to where you started, leave the needle and the thread attached, and then we want to fill it with rice. This is a little bit tricky, so just put in a little bit at a time until it's almost all the way full. Now carefully pull the thread tight to close up the edges. Push the raw edges in toward the middle of the pillow. Now you're going to stitch a line across the top to keep the raw edges on the inside. So hold the edges together and make a long stitch, grabbing material from both sides over the raw edges and stitch all the way across. When you get to the end, tie off the thread and trim it off. Turn it over, fluff it up, and you're finished. To make a hat, use the top finished edge of the sock. So wrap it around the head of your doll to see how big to make it, and then cut it just slightly larger. Cut it off straight across the top, at least a ½ inch bigger than you need it to be. After I cut it, I'm going to wrap it around my doll's head just one more time to make sure that it's the right size and to judge how much I need to cut off the top. So this is quite tall and I want it to be a shorter beanie, so I'm going to cut off a little bit of that raw edge. Double thread your needle and tie a knot at the end. Fold a piece of sock together with the right side on the inside. And sew the edges together, starting at the bottom or the finished edge of the hat. Tie a knot once you get to the top, but leave the needle and thread attached. Now sew around the top raw edge of the hat, just going in and out, making large stitches. When you've stitched all the way around, gently pull the thread tight to close off the top of the hat. Now take a few stitches to secure everything in place and tie it off with a knot. Trim the thread, turn it right side out, and you're finished. Please subscribe to my channel for other dollhouse accessories and lots of other crafts. There's new videos every week, so you don't want to miss one.